Hi, Meg here, and I am your Monday substitute host here on The Pagan Perspective. So, yes, I'm coming at you on a Saturday. I had completely blanked out, I guess, and missed my slot on Monday. However, I asked the team if I could make up for it today. They gave me the go ahead, and so here I am. So, this week's topic is about ancestors. How do we connect with them, if we connect with them? And do we do altars, offerings, so on and so forth. So this week's topic, I have to be honest with you, I wasn't too enthusiastic about it just because I knew I would have to cover so much in order to explain how or what is my approach to ancestors. And I was afraid I would not be able to do that in a short period of time. However, I think I can somewhat generalize my thoughts and ideas about my path regarding this subject. And should you like more detail or more information, you can always contact me. And if there is demand, I would even do another video regarding the details on my personal channel. So maybe it would give me a push to actually get something done on my personal channel. So here we go. Regarding ancestors, I first feel that I need to explain how I see the afterlife in this life itself, on top of that. So in this life where we are now, present day, alive, as we say, we, on this path that I follow, we are made up of three bases, if you will. And so we have our ego, spirit, and soul. So our ego, of course, is our physical form. It's our brain telling us how we need to survive so that we don't die. And it's imperative that we don't die. And then you have your soul, which is that the source, your energy, it is you that is living inside of you. It's your passion, it's your will to go on, it's your curiosity, it's everything about you. And then you have your spirit, which is that connection between soul and ego, so that your soul can survive on this planet, and so that your ego has a reason to keep on living. It's your soul sort of gives that drive to your ego to keep going, and that spirit is that connection for that fuel to go from one to the other. I hope that makes sense. So in that, knowing that, of course your ego doesn't want you to die. Its main purpose is to keep you alive for as long as possible. So your ego doesn't want anything to do with death. It's just not okay with it. So when it comes to death, one must actually go to the soul to seek information. And your soul just kind of knows. It's sort of where we have this this universal knowledge, and it's just, you don't know why, you just know. Sort of thing. And so for me, that's what the soul is. And the soul is not afraid of death because it knows that it doesn't really exist. You move on in one way or the other. So in that, I sort of ease my ego with the idea of death, in knowing that yes, my physical form will be gone, but it goes on through either, okay, if we're buried, then it goes into the earth. If we're cremated, it can still go back into the earth and feed more life. Or for me, for example, my body will be going to science, because people studying medicine or studying to become surgeons, so on and so forth, they need a cadaver, they need something to study on. And so because my physical form will no longer be of use to me, I would like for it to continue to go on and be useful for as long as possible. And so my body will actually be going to science. And so in that way, it helps the ego part of my mind know that I will still be going on even after I'm dead. And then my soul part, I know, I just feel it, that I can't prove it, as no one can, but I really feel that the way that we move on soul-wise is that our soul, being the ball, if you will, of energy, the sphere of energy that it is, it returns to the source of energy that we all come from, and that source of knowledge, that source of knowing. So I don't fear death in that way. And I've also had experiences in my life for me to know that I can honestly say I do not fear death. That being said, how does that connect with the idea of ancestors? Well, again, it's not just me that I feel this will happen to, but all those who came before me and all those who will come after. So my ancestors, I view them in the same way. My ancestors, as I knew them, for the ones that I didn't know, they were here in this physical form. This is what they looked like. This was how they lived. This was their characteristic, their personality, so on and so forth. But once their soul was no longer in that physical form, I no longer consider them as that person. Whereas I remember their energy instead. I remember in this kind of situation, this is how they reacted, or this is the knowledge that they gave to me. And that's the connection or the spirit that I keep with my ancestors that I knew personally. So, of course, in my ego mind, for me to understand that energy, I have to put an image to it. So I forever remember the image of that person, so their physical form, or how I saw them at the time that we were together. But what I feel and what I'm learning from them and what I'm connecting to is the energy that came from them, the soul, the aura that they gave. And I try to remember that and learn from that and use that when I need, when it's useful, when I need it. Yes. So for me, also at the same time, when we go to the beyond, when we cross over the rainbow, when we go to the other side, however you want to describe it or whatnot, we go back to the source, but we have the choice to either stay and watch over some loved ones for a while or forever, or for the time that they last on earth until they come to join back with the source, or we can come back to earth or wherever, or we go to another realm, so on and so forth. But we're still free beings in the sense we are this energy that can still go on and do more and expand. So I don't necessarily believe that all of my ancestors who have ever existed down the line are still somewhere up there, watching down on me, watching over me or over whomever, and guiding us. But I do believe that sometimes those energies could be there for momentarily, for the time that they need be, and can sometimes send us messages through meditation, through dreams, to help us along wherever we are in our lives. But then eventually they too, being beings of expansion, need to move on and can't always be there for us. At some point we need to take the wheel and steer our own life. So there's that too. Another way that I look at ancestors is that, and science can prove this, is that we get something from every ancestor that we ever had. We have something of them in our DNA today already. So I'm still carrying a piece, an essence of every ancestor that ever came before me. I'm carrying them with me today, whether good or bad. I have them in me. And so to have to try to find some way to connect with them more, I don't think it's necessary. It's so cliche, but we always say you have everything you need in you already. And it's true. And it's the same for our ancestors. We have a piece of them in us. We carry a piece of them in us already. And I don't feel that it's their duty to watch over us and make sure we take the right steps, make the right decisions. And I think that when they do it, it's because they know we'll be going through a tough situation, that maybe a little push or a little guidance could help us along the way. But I don't depend on them being there for me. And also because I don't think it's fair for me to expect them to be there for me. They need to go on with their expansion and they need to continue their journey. It's not because they're no longer here in that physical form that their journey is over. And I wish for them to continue and to move on. And and to keep going forth towards that source of life and knowledge, and that love. Um, so yeah, so I don't necessarily ask for any help from my ancestors, and sometimes when I just have this feeling where maybe I'm feeling a bit scared, or maybe I don't really know what to do, and then I think of someone, I think of an ancestor or whatnot, it's that little piece of them that lives inside me, and that little bit of essence of their energy that was embedded in me through knowing them when they were here, that comes to me and helps me get through whatever it is I'm trying to get through. But I don't purposely make a calling to them in the beyond to come and help me, if that makes any sense. Yeah, I don't think I can clarify that anymore. Because for me it's so clear. But if it's not clear to you, please don't hesitate to ask, and I will try to explain it further. So yeah, that's that for me. So we carry our ancestors with us, so on and so forth. However, that being said, it doesn't mean that I don't show my respect for them. So as a symbol of my love and affection and my appreciation for what I did inherit from them, the good and the bad, because we learn from the bad just as much as we learn from the good. On Samhain, I do make an altar for my ancestors, and so I just acknowledge their past experiences, their past lives, and where I am today, thanks to them or not thanks to them, so on and so. And so I do make an altar at Samhain to give my thanks and to show appreciation for them. And so for that, those who do continue to watch over their loved ones that they had left behind in their past life, to show them that we haven't forgotten, and that we still love them and we still carry them in our hearts, and to wish them a happy Samhain, of course, and to let them know that they are always welcome. Should they want to come and just say a little hello, and or hey, go that way, don't go that way, kind of thing. Yeah. On top of that, I am a big mix of many many different cultures and whatnot. So I find it very difficult for me to connect to one specific ancestry. In that, on my mother's side, I have Italian, Swedish, English, and German. And then on my father's side, my grandmother is full-blooded Cherokee Indian. And then my grandfather's parents, his mother was Irish and his father was Hungarian. So I'm quite the mix. And I never really felt completely 100% drawn to one specific culture, one specific ancestry, if you will, which is probably why I'm such an eclectic. But when it does call to me, I think it's for a reason, and I do believe that it comes from the ancestors that I have, that I carry within me, and perhaps those who continue to watch over before they take their next step beyond. And so when I get those messages through meditation and through dreams, I listen. I take it into account. So that's how I do it. I don't do any specific spell work with ancestry, any specific magic work with trying to connect or speak with my ancestors. I know that they are in a place, or even more beyond, in a place they have moved on. They know the secret now. They've moved on. They've progressed. They've expanded further. They know so much more than me, so that if I'm really in a spot or in a situation where I do need them, they will find me. I don't think I have the ability, or I don't want to say the right, but I don't think it's for me to ask them, in a sense. So I don't go out of my way to try to find a way to connect with them. But in that said, I've always been lucky enough to where, when needed, even if I didn't know I needed it at that time, they came to me a lot, mostly in my dreams and meditations. So, yes, I'm going to leave it there. So, I will definitely next time try to get my video up on a Monday when expected. And I'm going to go to bed now because it's very late here and I had a long week. So, yes, until next time, please don't hesitate to contact me if I'm not clear, if you have any questions, if you would like to know more. Just drop me a comment down below, or you can find me on Facebook with my YouTube name, Meg of the Earth and Moon. So, until next time, please take care, especially now. We really need to take care of each other. This is the time to really spread love and solidarity. Be safe and take care of each other. Be compassionate. And I feel like, I think I saw it once somewhere where someone said, I think this whole situation that's going on right now is the Earth's way of sending us to our room to make us think about what we did. And we really need to take care of each other. So please, please, please be safe and take care of each other. Show compassion, spread the love. It's all about the expansion of humanity. We can't do this on our own. And the quicker we acknowledge this, the quicker we will all heal together on many levels. So yes, so safe journeys to you all, and I'll catch you on my next Monday. Take care.